Okay, hi everybody. What I'd like to do is just to walk you through how to utilize the Webex function on your iPad in order to present an InquiryMax offer to a customer. So there are three things that we're going to touch on. The first thing is to schedule a meeting for a future date. The second is to schedule a meeting immediately following maybe a telephone call or something. And then of course we want to ensure the customer can see our InquiryMax offer, so we'll need to overview the shared screen function. So the actual InquiryMax offer that we're going to use to the client will be the one that comes from our iPad, so it will look like this, and then what we will do is just work our way along these little tabs here at the top. From your iPad, you'll notice that you have a couple of icons, which are the Webex meeting icons. You can click either one of them. The one at the bottom just means it's my regularly used apps. So you give that a click and it will take you into two functions, one to sign in and the other to join a meeting immediately, which I'll explain later. So the first thing is we'll need to sign in, but of course if your iPad's been open for a while and you're already signed in, it will take you to a different page. You'll see that shortly. So we're going to click on the sign in. We're going to go straight to the next because IT have already set them all up for us. What I would say though, if you are using somebody else's iPad, can you or perhaps could you overtype your email address here? So if for example it was Joanna Maria Motorline, then obviously I'm going to overtype that with Patrick because I want the client to see my own name, not that of my salesman colleague. So click on the next function if the email address is correct. Slightly confusing screen this. You're kind of thinking, well, what do I press next? And because that's in blue, you'd think there's something there that you have to enter, which causes a lot of confusion for people. No, it says select site, so you actually click on the motorlinewebex.com site. If we click that, it takes us into the sign in. So the ID, or sorry, the password that you're going to put in is your normal password to access your computer at work or your iPad that was set up for you from the IT at head office. Now the actual password that you use is your standard one, but it has an exclamation mark at the end. So just please remember to put that in, otherwise it will not work. Once you've done that, you click the sign in and it will automatically take you to this page here which you're looking at. So it actually will pop you onto the center page here where it's got meetings, so it'll give you a quick list of everything that's coming up. Obviously we want to schedule a meeting with a customer for the future, so we're going to click plus button as in to add a meeting to our schedule. So we give that a click. And it will take us to this little screen. So we're just going to work our way down through these little dots just here, these little subject on the left hand side. So at the top it's got Patrick Murray's meeting. It would default to that, or your name basically, meeting. But of course we don't want the customer to see that. We want the customer to see what's relevant to them. And seeing as I want to do a quotation or give customers some figures on a Toyota Corolla icon, that will be my title. So I'm just going to overtype that with Toyota Corolla hybrid icon. And now it's really easy. You're just going to work your way down through these subjects down here on the left hand side. So I'm going to click on the start one and just use the little tumblers into the grey bar to the date and time that you want to meet the client. The duration just below, we're going to click and select for how long we think we'll need to be on the phone for them. Just so you know, it doesn't matter if you overrun. So we'll put in, say, an hour. Who are we going to invite? Well, just put in the email address of the customer. So I'm going to meet David, who's my equivalent trainer. And once you've put the email address in, and for any other parties that need to join, i.e. decision makers, we're going to click the done function. Okay. Now this bit again isn't obvious. We've completed everything. You'd be looking for a save or enter tab. There isn't. All there is on the top right hand side there's this schedule button. That means to schedule or activate that meeting. And again, it'd be useful if it was in blue or something so you'd know where to go. But go to the top right and physically click on schedule, and it will pop that meeting into your list of other meetings that are all coming up, so we can actually see that here. So that's nice and straightforward. What we now need to do is to show you how to set a meeting up with a customer if you want to meet them instantly. Say, for example, you're on the telephone. Okay, so in order to do that, it's really, really important that you enter the Inquiry Max system first, because what we do not want to be doing is setting a meeting up with a customer, share the screen, and then they see us opening Inquiry Max, selecting the customer, clicking on customer offers where everybody else's offers are in there. We need to have the Inquiry Max open first before we schedule the meeting. So I will sign into Inquiry Max now. Then I'm going to click on my customer offers, and it's Mr. Rossi at the top there that I want to present figures to. So I'm going to click on that, and his offer comes up. As soon as that comes up, I'm going to click the home button on my iPad to bring me back to the desktop. So you know what's going to happen now. Exactly right. I'm just going to click on my little icon to meet now. As soon as I give that a click, assuming I'm signed out, it will have a join meeting or sign in. So if you are signed in, you can click on this join meeting, okay, and it'll say you can click the start meeting right now. Alternatively, if you were in the previous screen when we were doing schedule, you can just hit the home screen there and it will take you back to the same place. Do you want to start the meeting immediately? Well, yes, I do. So I'm going to click on that start meeting there. Oh, a good looking boy, and up I come on the screen. So I clearly want to start the meeting. So I'm just going to click on the start button there. As soon as I click that, I kind of need to, invite my customer to join in so I can sort of share the quotation with them. So you'll see a picture of a person there. We're going to give that a click, so it puts up a little dialog box. There's pretty much the same picture. We're going to invite someone to join. Then we're going to type into the enter participants, if I get my words right, into the top. So I'm going to invite David again. As soon as I give that a click, of course, if there's no one else to add, I'm going to send that off to him. So now I'm just going to sit here quietly and wait for David to join the meeting. If I was on David's telephone right now, this is what would happen. He would have an email come in, okay, and as soon as he opens it, he's got two options. He can click on the join meeting, or he can click the link. If you click the join meeting and the customer does not have the Webex app, it will all start saying, oh, you need to download the app, and it causes all sorts of problems. So you need to advise the client that just underneath the join meeting there is a web link, a URL. So if they just tap that once, you will appear on the screen immediately. Okay? So in light of that, if the customer rotates that phone 90 degrees or clockwise or anti-clockwise, so it's horizontal, it's in landscape format, then it will appear like that. So that would be me, David, in this example, having just opened up the invites from the salesman, Patrick, and now Patrick over here is ready to share his screen. So David's going to get a presentation on my figures, so we're going to click on the share screen function just here. As soon as you click on share, it puts a lot of information up. The only one we really need to be mindful of is the one at the top, which is fairly obvious, share screen. Give it a click, okay, and it's saying, when do you want to start your broadcast? When do you want to share with the client? Well, I want to do that right now. So I'm going to click on the share broadcast function, which I click, and it's now starting the timer. No particular reason, it's just starting that. So the customer can even see this screen right now. So I actually want to put my offer sheet up, so I might make it as succinct and as quick as possible. So I will click the home button on my iPad, then I'm going to click Inquiry Max, but if you remember, I've already opened the presentation. So I give it a click and Mr. Rossi's offer is ready to go, so I would need to then present this screen. And you can do this for any other screen that you want to present. So if you had an add-on screen that was overviewing Gap or Smart or something, you can do the same thing. Exactly the same way, you just click on whatever it is that you want to share. So if I wanted to present this particular screen, I would do it along the following lines. I'm not really going to go through a totting up process. I'm just going to say, okay, Mr. Rossi, well, you're looking at the Toyota Corolla. It's an Icon 5-door hatchback, 2 litre. And the price of the vehicle, fully protected on the road with the Motorline Care Pack, is $27,856, which fully includes your write-off cover. It's also got hygiene and resale enhancement protection, so that's obviously going to support the money you get back for the car in 2 to 3 years' time. If you pick any little dings and dongs, scratches and scuffs up, the smart cover will put it back to factory standards for you across a 3-year period. And to be honest with you, the bit that's most likely to sort of get damaged, which potentially is your wheels and tyres, completes the pack. So, moving to your part exchange, give that a click. The market value of your little Igo is £1,000. So if we deduct that away from the price of your new car, it leaves a cost of change of $26,856. So you've got about 3 or so ways that you can pay for that. Some people like to sort of just wire the money in, chaps transfer, online transfer into our bank. That's all right, it's no worries. And some people want to spread the cost over sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years on what we would sort of term as old style finance. So that's things like hire purchase, conditional sale, bank loans. You can do it that way. The monthly instalments work out at $848 over 3 years and $662 over 4. The only thing is, you do get a little less protection with this in terms of depreciation, and that's why people sort of tend to pop them onto a personal contract purchase. And to be fair, the way that they work here is much the same as this. It's not really any different, other than the fact that the manufacturer or the loan provider guarantees a minimum future value that you would get back for your car in, say, 2 to 3 years' time. Well, in this case, 3 years' time. So what Toyota have done is they've guesstimated that your car as an absolute minimum would be worth £11,500. Okay, now you do have some options, which I will cover shortly, but right now they're saying, because they know what you're going to get for the car, they deduct that away from the price that you'd have to pay today. But to reiterate, you still have to pay that amount of money, but you've got different ways in which you can do it. So you can like return the car, or part exchange the car, or refinance it. So there are other options. But if it's funded over 36 months, the monthly instalment works out at £440. So, I mean, if you're comfortable with that, then we'd be delighted to set that up for you. Would you like me to do that? Now, if they say yes, happy days. You would click on the offer details just here, and away you go. And but if they say no, that's no worries. We then just understand what the issues are and just try to help them or overcome any objections, that they've got difficulty with pushing forward. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope that sort of was fairly straightforward. You can always wind it back and have a re-listen. But what I would advise you to do is 2 things. Have a little practice with one of your colleagues, just so it makes you word perfect and you're slick and understand how to set it up quickly. So do that 2 or 3 times if you have to. And then when you do make the presentation to the customers, please make sure that, if it's husband, wife, or 2 partners, whatever it is, the decision makers are all looking at the screen at the same time. So it's the equivalent of you both, sitting opposite each other at a desk. Other than that, thanks for watching, and good luck.